We're going to dive into this one incredible moment in time. A moment where something eternal just broke through the fabric of our ordinary world. And honestly, nothing was ever the same after.
You know, there are these rare, quiet moments in life where the world we know just seems to thin out. Like a veil cracks open for just a second, and something bigger, something transcendent, shines through. Well, this is the story of one of those moments. It all starts out so simply. You have three close friends, Peter, James, and John, and they're just following their teacher, Jesus, up a mountain. They're probably thinking they're just going for a quiet moment of prayer, something they'd done before. They had absolutely no way of knowing they were about to see something that would completely redefine their reality. Okay, so to really get what happens next, we have to understand the setting. This isn't just a random hike. In their world, a mountain is so much more than just a piece of geography. It's a place where heaven and earth are known to meet. See, in their tradition, mountains carry this immense weight. They are these sacred meeting places, almost like the very edges between our world and God's. So as Jesus leads them up, you can almost feel the echoes of past revelations in the stones beneath their feet. It's like history itself is holding its breath. And here are the people in our story. You've got Peter, always quick to speak, always so devoted. There's James, who's fiercely loyal. And then there's John, the quiet one, the observer, just taking it all in. And of course, there's Jesus. To them, he's their teacher, he's a healer, he's their friend, but they've all sensed it. There's something more to him, something they just can't quite put their finger on. Not yet.
And this is where everything changes. Up on that mountaintop, the ordinary just completely dissolves.
Now here's the detail you absolutely have to catch. It's where the light comes from. It's not shining on him like a spotlight. It's radiating from him. This is an internal glory, bursting out with the raw intensity of the sun. And his clothes, they're described as blazing white. But not the white of, say, clean linen. It's an unearthly white. The pure, brilliant, shocking white of lightning. It's a sight their minds can barely even process, just overwhelming and absolute. And as if that wasn't already enough, two other figures suddenly appear in this radiance. It's Moses, the great lawgiver, and Elijah, the great prophet. The whole story of their people, everything, the law and the prophets, is suddenly standing right there. In this one single moment, time itself just seems to collapse into a single point. And what's Peter's reaction to all this? Oh, it's so perfectly human. Faced with this terrifying, beautiful, divine moment, he wants to build something. He wants to contain it, make it permanent, hold on to it. It's what we all do, right? When we encounter something truly awesome, we try to put a frame around it, to sort of domesticate the divine. But you can't contain a moment like this. A cloud, this ancient symbol of God's presence, sweeps over them, and from that cloud, a voice speaks. Not with anger, but with this incredible weight of authority and love. This is the climax of the whole thing. This is the entire point. So what does all of this mean? Because this wasn't just a light show. This was a profound statement. This was a revelation of identity. So you've got these two giants of their faith, right? Moses and Elijah. And they each represent something huge. Moses, with the law, represents humanity's structured, best attempt to reach up to God. And Elijah, representing all the prophets, is God's voice consistently calling down to humanity. And here is the absolute core of it. Both of these massive streams of history, the law trying to reach up, the prophets calling down, they were always pointing to this very moment, to this person. They don't stand there as its equals. They stand beside him, and then they yield. He is the fulfillment of everything they ever stood for.
So after the voice, after the cloud, after the sheer holiness of it all makes them fall on their faces in fear, Jesus comes and touches them. And when they finally dare to look up, Moses is gone, Elijah's gone, the blinding light is gone, there is only Jesus. Everything converges right on him.
And that's what we call this event, the Transfiguration. It's so important to get this. It wasn't a temporary change to Jesus. It was a brief unveiling of who he actually was, all along. For just a moment, his friends got to see his true native nature, the living, breathing intersection of heaven and earth, who had been walking beside them this whole time. So, okay, that's an incredible story, but why does it matter to us now? Well, because that moment on the mountain, it wasn't just for Peter, James, and John. It's actually an invitation that echoes all the way through time, right down to you and me. Think about it.
This whole experience touches on a tension we all feel. We live in a world that can feel kind of dim sometimes, but we have this deep longing for light, for something more. We sense there's something transcendent out there, but we feel so stuck, bound to our ordinary, dusty lives. This story suggests that maybe we were actually made for that light, even if we feel like we're living in the shadows.
And that forces the question to shift. It's no longer just, wow, what happened on that mountain? It becomes something much, much more personal. It becomes, okay, what do I do with the one they saw? A revelation of who Jesus really is, well, it kind of demands a response.
And there's one last critical piece to this. Jesus actually told them not to talk about what they saw until after his resurrection. Why? Because the glory they saw on that mountain of light had to be seen through the lens of the sacrifice he would make on the hill of the cross. Without the cross, the glory just looks like raw power. With the cross, you see it's actually about redemptive love.
And so, that voice from the cloud echoes across the centuries. It's not a command shouted at a few people a long time ago. It's an open invitation to all of us. It's a call to just listen, to engage with the one who is revealed in that moment of blinding, beautiful glory.
They walked up that mountain with their friend, their teacher, but they came back down having seen a glimpse of the eternal King. And that one vision, that brief crack in reality, it changed everything, not just for them, but for the entire course of human history.